Hello and welcome to the Trade Setup. In this video we are looking at CRM Salesforce, and on this chart we are tracking this movement to the upside in a count where we have a wave 1 up here, a wave 2 down, and then in the large third wave we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then the fifth wave quite possibly complete here. Now this is the main interpretation, where we would then, in this case, be looking for a large correction here in a wave 4. That is a very plausible interpretation of how this could develop. We did already start a pretty strong correction and it could easily extend even further. Now with that said, I am still open to the possibility that this third wave actually topped here, and then this third wave, this large third wave, actually still needs another 4-5 pattern to complete it. Now in that case we wouldn't necessarily need to reach this level of the support zone. We could be looking at something much closer, something between like $192.6 down to around $93.4, but personally, I prefer this interpretation right now, where I am looking at support for a wave 4 of this larger degree, so 3-4. So I'm looking for support in this case at the area between $134.7 down to around $44 level. And of course, there's also always the possibility that we still extend to the upside. So there's really no confirmation that we topped here in this movement, in this fifth wave, in this larger trend. We would actually need to break much lower to shift the probabilities to that scenario, and we would need to break even lower below the start of the fifth wave to actually invalidate that interpretation. So yeah, we still need to be open to the idea that this fifth wave could still extend to the upside, and this is one of the reasons that I am actually updating this chart, because I want to provide, since we broke the resistance from the previous video, I want to provide a larger resistance zone for the idea that this could be an ABC pattern that is developing. Could be 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. We could easily consider this a 5-wave move to the downside, and then it could develop like this. And if we break above the resistance levels that we would have here for such a wave B between $273 up to around $332, then we could more likely consider that we are building something more bullish, but we are also still in need to find a proper 5-wave move to the upside in this area, and then a 3-wave down correction to confirm even further, after holding support, that we are still in an uptrend, in an active uptrend. Now, since the previous video, as I said, we broke the resistance levels that I provided here, and that was the first level of confirmation that something more bullish is actually going on, instead of forming an even deeper correction in this A wave. Now, I find it personally a bit hard to consider this correction complete, since it is a 5-wave move. At least I consider it as such. And in this case, I just find it very likely that we are in a correction and that we are still looking for lower once it is actually complete. But until then, we could still see substantial upside, and I am tracking a few interpretations here. So one of them could be that we had here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this was a very small one, ABC pattern in a wave 2, and then we are now in a large third wave to the upside. Something like that could be a C wave, where we could very well even extend to the resistance zone. Yeah, I would expect pretty decent resistance levels, pretty strong resistance in this area at the first yellow level, at the let's see, $273 at the 38.2% retracement level. And another interpretation would actually be that this movement to the upside hasn't yet finished, and that it could be something like this instead, or maybe this was a wave 1, this was a wave 2, the third wave topped here, this was the fourth wave, and now a last extension in the fifth wave. Many different ways to actually count it, but the idea is that we are still tracking continuation in this movement. Once we see a larger correction, we could be tracking another 1-2 setup or something like that. But what I want to focus on the most are the resistance levels in the yellow resistance zone. As I said, between $273 up to around $332 level. And one last thing I actually want to provide is a support zone for a wave 2 in case this fifth wave to the upside actually decides to extend in a I picked the wrong thing, in a 1, 2, and then we get the third wave up. And yeah, we did already reach the support zone. It started at $245 level, and we did react quite promisingly, but I have to say the structure isn't very bullish. What we have formed already here in the fifth wave looks pretty bad, I must say. I could say that this is a 1, 2, and then this would be a third, a fourth, and then a fifth here. It would be an ending diagonal in this case, but nonetheless it could still form a larger 1, 2 setup and allow this fifth wave to extend. But we would only get more confident in this idea once we actually break above the yellow resistance zone. So for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.